It's Banana. What's up, guys? So I'm here to talk about basically the Bree 1 system and what I'm looking at right now. I'm going to be using Ducalis because Ducalis is a he's got grapples and everything, and he's not a character without them because there's certain characters like I'll get into it. Later on. I'll tell you about Rio. Rio has no grapples, and that's something that I'm looking at for conversion. So basically, the system is if you're on the site, you've seen my semi-translation, not really a translation, but just a basic gist of what the system's like, back and forward with A and B. Uh, was it was it down down and forward, up and down and forward is low, up forward is high, and then middle is the medium punch, and then there's combinations. So if I go up and then forward, it does another attack. Go back, you do a dodge, and then you can break out of a dodge and do something. So basically, as you can see, the emulation's not perfect, and the big thing about the emulation I have trouble with right now is that the bar, you can see the bar wants to move. It wants to shrink when it blinks. I'll show you again when I grab him again. I'll grab him again, and it'll blink right there. That's when it blink, and that's when the bar is supposed to shrink. When it's supposed to go down, and without that, I don't really know exactly how the balance bar itself works. I mean, there's one thing is that was I'll admit I was wrong. I'm probably wrong on a lot of things because a lot of things I've gotten from the system were inference and observation and asking around for information, and usually that was useful. But then again, when you're playing something like Bricky One, much of the community is basically people who just kind of guessed when it came to the game. They didn't really know what the actual system was. We didn't have any data. We didn't have any. There's some documentation somewhere. I asked SNK. I didn't get a response. I'm assuming that they lost it because they lost the source code. Then again, they did re-release it on PSN, so I think maybe they found it again because they lost source code. That's why it wasn't ported ever. I think because Samurai Showdown 64 was ported and this wasn't, and that's a big difference. Completely different games, actually, but it's the idea that source code was there. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit, but basically, so I always to explain the system. So that was a grapple. That's a note. I'm using second system because second system tells me what to do, and I don't know all the grapples by heart. But I think the big thing I want to really focus on is how grapples actually work and why my system isn't really accurate, and it's partly because of lack of data. I've been trying to do data mining for a while, and it's tough because the emulation isn't perfect. I can't get any of the bar data. I can stop the clock. I can get damage data. I can move the camera. I still can't find X and Y positioning. Not like I need Y positioning, but I can't find X positioning. And I want to say partially that's because of 3D Arena. I don't know, because I can find X position on anything that's 2D, but in a 3D Arena I'm having trouble with camera, with all of the background things. I found everything in the background. I found the data for all of that. I can't find the position data for some reason. That's very strange. So I can't find real velocity data. I thought I found velocity data back when I made Guy, but that wasn't really what I needed. It actually ended up not being that accurate. It was completely wrong, and so I kind of fudged the rest and did the normal thing with the with tick counting, which is hard also here because you can't tick count on. It's harder to tick count something that's not running smoothly, and all that. So basically, that's the issue. I think the biggest problem is probably the bar, just the bar issue. I can't really. My knowledge of the game is very slim, so as most people, no one really understands the inner working system, the system very well. I think out of everybody on the Neo Geo forums and people like Shanji, who put out who's of Jamination X, who I initially went to for information. He put out one of the big FAQs as moveless as everything, and the other one's by the Chosen One, who also has a big FAQ. No one really understands the system. I think a lot of it is based on just inference and saying, I think this is what it was, but no one's really sure. And that's why I have an issue right now with really, because I know my system's wrong. It's incredibly inaccurate. I have the movements right. I have all the basic ideas right. But when it comes to actually grappling and all the complex parts of the game, I'm really just sitting on kind of information that I have a bit of, but not really. And I'm not doing it right at all. I don't have the ability to do right. Okay, here's judgment. My judgment's wrong. Hey, that's a good one. But it's hard to judge judge's decision. I don't really know. I put it in the game because put it in the system because it to round out accuracy. But there's really it doesn't work outside of a full game thing, because you need. If I had a full game thing, it would be in the I would be checking for things on a entire entire match base and match basis. And the hard thing is that when two characters who aren't coded the same go together, there's issues with states, and it's basically coded that certain attack states and grapple states are important, and 6000s are used by everyone because you can't isolate a state. So those states specifically are meant for grappling, and so any character with a 6000 state can get points for something that's dumb. And points are also based on first player, so or second player, whoever is the Bricky one person. Their points are based off that, and the winner's entirely based off P1 or P2, depending on if he's the only one. If the only one is the Bricky 1 character, then they are player 1 or player 2, then they are done. If it's both of them are Bricky 1 characters, then it's only based on player 1. And that's an important thing, is that they're Bricky 1 characters. They're not just any random character. Another reason that I want to touch on is that I don't like judgment outside of the game, because it doesn't work. Judgment also requires ring outs, which are an important part of the game, and because that heavily increases your points based on if you ring someone out, or if they fall out, that decreases their points. Second is like I said, the grappling system is that I'm not really correct in how the system works, and that is lack of information, but it's also having issues with, I don't know. I have the ability to recreate it. I'm recreating it right now. It looks like garbage. It plays like garbage. The original game is much more fluid, and it plays so much faster, and you're watching it at like 30% speed probably. And I can't get any of this information here. That's the problem. What else? I think it's everything to do with the grappling system. It's when in my characters, when your bar decreases, you get pulled out of the grappling, and that's it. You can't grapple anymore. And one of the that's not actually accurate. If you go watch a video of the game, people are still grappling when all that matters is you break out. The balance, the grappling gauge doesn't mean too much in it. it's how long you can go, but ultimately you can keep going. There's a video of Supreme Judge playing Sokolov, and in that video, what he's doing as Sokolov is that he's got him in a submission, and his bar's going down, but and his bar hits bottom, and he's still in the submission. So both of them are still in the submission, and it's not player, and what was it? And also, I have it that when your balance bar is a certain point, if it's below someone's, you can't. I want to say that is right. I'm pretty sure that part is probably right, but I have you kicked out, and you probably shouldn't be kicked out. But the reason why I did that is partially, I guess, due to balances, because I didn't want to have, if someone couldn't break out, I don't want to have, because it's not based on time. It's based, if it wasn't based on time, it's only based on someone breaking out. Then the AI could not break out. The AI can't. The AI can't. Well, hopefully the AI could recognize that it's in a situation where it needs to go. He needs to hit buttons, but I don't necessarily know if that's true. I don't know how AI could be coded for dizzy mode or something and be able to break out of a dizzy mode, a dizzied state by pressing buttons, but unless they're coded in specifically for that state, and they probably already have it in their character, which is an important thing, then if another character is putting you in that state, then it's different. If you're put in your own dizzy state or your own guard crush state because of something, then you can break out of it because you've coded it that way to get out of it. But otherwise, putting something on someone else doesn't make any sense. It's not going to work. It's not going to react the same way. So that's an important thing to focus on, is that for balance sake, that I needed to do this. I needed to do this situation where you could be freed if you couldn't get out, and ultimately when your bar goes down, you should be kicked out. That's your balance. That's your grapple gauge. You should be kicked out. It makes sense in a way. I mean, it's not accurate, but it makes sense, and I'm willing to stand by that one, I guess, because obviously accuracy is important, but at the same time, accuracy forsaking balance doesn't make any sense. And I mean, I could argue that my characters are already in a state where they're not, where they're in a bad state because they don't really have a fair equal advantage, because no jumping, you're pressing up. The only character who has a jump is Guy, and that's because Guy goes into a spinning wheel when you jump and you go forward, or is it jump down? Jump down. Yeah, when you go jump down, he does this spinning wheel, and that's an important thing, is that that's a move. Every other character does it. For example, Guy has a crouch kick. Dukelis does not. You go crouch forward or crouch down forward. No, nothing. You just crouches. And so each character is built a bit differently and based on the same sets of moves and same sets of everything. So each character in this game performs a little differently. Like I said, Rio, actually I'll get to that now. Rio doesn't have any grapples and all. And I guess, I think I've covered most of the issues. A lot of the balance gauge issues are part not knowing and part interpretation. And I think interpretation is important in this situation. Otherwise, I wouldn't really, because I couldn't do everything in this state. I just don't have the data. I don't have the game. And if I had the game, I couldn't get data from it because it's on a board, and I can't. Well, maybe if I put effort into it, I could probably figure it out, but I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather have an emulation where I can pull data straight from it, and I can go back to it. I don't have to walk away and go stare at a tiny ass screen. So one thing that what really kind of annoyed me about Guy and Silver is that they don't feel that good as characters. They feel kind of iffy, and I mean, they are kind of still vehicles for the system. The system's not done. I don't know if it will be done in the near future, just because of these issues, and I need to wait for suitable emulation, which might take another year or two, which kind of sucks, but that happens. You can hop back out of the ring. I mean, I have patience. I don't know. I might pick up something else after I finish Rio and do something else, but I mean, I have patience. I mean, I spent how many years on this system already? I can spend a couple more. Anyway, So what we're dealing with in Rio is that Rio has no grapples. So a normal character would have a grapple with walking forward, pressing down, but Rio doesn't. He has a kick. So Rio has 2 kicks. He's got his mid punch. He's got high kick. He's got a low kick. Chop. Where's the... And the chop can lead into the Ranbu combo. There we go. Which I don't know if I can do right now. It's a long ass combo. I'm gonna make that. That's not gonna be a. That's either. Well, I thought about it. That could either be a combo in game, or it could be in the conversion, or it could just. I was thinking of making it a super actually, just because it would make it easier. Because the odds, most people don't get it off in game. If you watch Supreme Judge's playthrough as Rio, he beats the entire game literally just doing that combo and knocking him out of the ring. So until he beats the shit out of him. So there's 2 ways to do it. Here's part of the combo. Oh, there I did the whole thing. Alright, you got to see the whole combo. I didn't think I could. But basically Rio has none of that. Outside of that, there's not much. I think the big thing I want to say is that Rio's gonna be more accurate to Bricky 1 only because his moveset in Bricky 1 is literally just based off of his moveset I want to say it's very similar to his, well, it came after, his latest moveset. The one that was in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum as Mr. Karate 2, and what other game had that moveset? I can't remember. But most of the moves are intact. Guy and Silver had issues with because their movesets in 11 were arranged. And the problem with them being arranged is that I can't do anything about certain things. Like Guy had a roundhouse kick for his light, and I couldn't do that because there wasn't roundhouse in 11. I'm pretty sure. I haven't played in a while, but none. My sprite set had no roundhouse kicks, which was kind of an issue in that aspect. So his medium punch became his light punch, and then I had to really went from there. And a lot of his I think half of his attacks were actually accurate. I wouldn't say velocity wise. I know it was his back 4, his charge back 4 definitely doesn't feel right. It still doesn't feel right. I can't get that velocity right until I can actually mine the velocities. I don't know whenever that'll be because I can't find, like I said, I can't find the X position. I can find everything else, cannot find X position, and I cannot find X velocities. Every time I do a search, I end up with zip because I lose everything else. I don't know why. It's very strange. I can find it in any other game, but can't find it in this. I bet I can pull up another 3D game and find it, but right now I don't know. And I don't want to blame. I'm not going to blame the dump because it's not the fault of the dump, and it's not the fault of the emulation. It's me not finding it. I don't know why. It's weird. So I think what else. Yeah. So Rio will. I'm working on right now. I'm compiling the sprites. It'll take me a while to compile the sprites because I'm still searching through them and finding all of the related ones. Be similar. Oh, there's a very important point I think I need to make is that what I hate is that all my characters have runs and hopbacks. Well, hopback's fine, but all my characters have runs, and in Bricky 1 it's not a run. It's a dash, and I'm not gonna. I don't sprite. I'm not gonna make edits. I just dealt with it. But I mean, it's a bit annoying. Outside of that, no, I don't know. There's not much else to really say. This system is complex yet simple. It's easy to understand. It's hard to really it's easy to grasp, hard to understand on an in-depth level. I I'm still trying. I'm gonna keep trying to figure out this, but now without the bar, I noticed that the bar doesn't change. I was thinking like I was wrong. Hey, I'm kind of wrong. I'm not really wrong. I'm wrong on how you enter grappling. I'm wrong on a couple other things. I don't want to say that you need to have a balance advantage over somebody. Then again, this guy's medium, so it doesn't matter anyway if I had a balance advantage on one or not. But that's the ultimate thing. Is I think I'm wrong on a bunch of grappling issues, and at the same time, I have this belief that in the end, being wrong and inaccurate, but being inaccurate for the sake of balance might be better than being totally accurate for that. It annoys me though because every time I look at a character, I touch the characters, I feel like because it's incorrect, it doesn't feel right. It feels incomplete. It feels half-assed. It doesn't feel good. You know, and part of it is that my own inability to really put the I can put the max amount of effort into it. I could probably do it. It's just hard because I can't get the feel. I'm not able to get the feel, and I have to make some changes, and it's making the changes is tough because there's certain changes that have to be made, and I hate to do it, but I can't get everything, which really does annoy me. Ranbu combo one more time. Nope, fucked it up. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's it. That's all I have to say. It's a lot less than I thought I had to say, but I think the system is very simple. If you play the character, you understand how the system works. Grappling's probably wrong. Judge's decision is definitely wrong. I'm not sure how I'm gonna deal with it. So ultimately, I may change it, I may not, and I probably will make some changes in the future. I'm definitely gonna. I'm not done with the system. I'm gonna keep going. I am interested in other systems and other game systems, but this is still my project, and I still need to work on it, and I still need to make sure it works completely before anything. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So, this is Banana once again, and I'm gonna be working on the system more, and then we'll see what comes of it.